Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Questions for Chicago pre-show. This is the show before the show. This is the show we do, kind of our entertaining segment before we actually start the podcast, Questions for Chicago. Now, if you're familiar with what we do, of course, we go to downtown Chicago. We ask very serious questions about life, death, and all those other very serious topics, even politics, social issues sometimes, but we do it to get right down to the meat of the subject, the gospel. Of course, this pre-show right now, this is just a little bit of a breather, just a little bit to have fun. It's unedited. Of course, I'm already stumbling over my words, but we just like to have fun, talk to some friends, let you guys see some behind the scenes action as to what we do here on the show. What's really exciting is that we went to downtown Atlanta this time rather than Chicago to talk to people, and it was really, really fun. We'll talk more about that in a second. What you might notice before we show you some clips of that in Atlanta, you might notice that we kind of have a different background right now. You might say, hey, that set, that studio looks a lot like a low-lit basement. Well, that is because it is my low-lit basement that we are doing this show in. Of course, we don't have money for a set or a studio, but we do the best with what we can to make things look nice. So, of course, the place where we do the actual show is also the place where I eat dinner, the place where I cook, and my wife cooks, and the place where we watch TV, because, why not? But we have a lot of fun doing what we do, not for money, not for fame, but so that we can share the truth with all of you. And so what we'd like to do right now is show you what we did in Atlanta, just a few clips of the places we were able to go to, and Piedmont Park, where we did a lot of our interviews. And it's just a really short clip, sort of a promo that we're going to be playing on Instagram and Facebook. You're going to check that out, and then we're going to have some more fun here on the pre-show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to Questions for Chicago or Atlanta. I'm your host from the suburbs, Sean Duncan. Today, we are in Piedmont Park, a popular spot in the city of Atlanta, Georgia. We're gonna have a lot of fun, not in our usual location, of course. Atlanta kind of has a bit more of a different feel to it than Chicago, but there's still people that we can talk to, have some fun conversations, and talk about life and death. If you're familiar with our first episode, Life and Death, that is the first episode of Questions for Chicago. We're gonna ask those same questions here in Atlanta and see what people have to say. So that's sort of what happened there in Atlanta. Some of the clips, some of the things we were able to see. And of course, it's going to be a really, really great episode. You're going to want to stick around, listen to the monologue, or rather watch the monologue and then listen to the rest of the episode. We hope you do that. Now we're going to have a little bit of fun, okay? Of course, it's the pre-show. We got to invite some friends on and have some fun. We're going to play a little game with one of my good friends, Andrew Kovach. And so we're uncut, so I'm just going to attempt to call him. He doesn't know that I'm going to call him right this second. And so hopefully he picks up and we have a good conversation with him. Oh, here we go. Andrew.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Andrew Kovach. Welcome to the Questions for Chicago pre-show.
Well, hello, Mr. Duncan. How are you?
Good. How was your day?
Good. Happy President's Day. Hope it was well for you.
Oh, yeah. President's Day. It's great. Who's your absolute favorite president?
My favorite president of all time?
Yes.
Oh, that's a tough one. I would have to say it would be George Washington, the first one.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Because you know what? That's actually, and I'm not even kidding, that's my favorite president, too.
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. And a lot of people...
All great minds think alike.
Oh, yeah, sure. Whatever. But you have a great mind for sure. But yeah, a lot of people, not many people pick George Washington, but he was actually a really, really cool, great leader. And so anyway, the reason that we have called you Mr. Kovach is because you actually are someone who has worked in the political field in Minnesota. Tell us a little bit about that.
All right. Well, so back in 2016, I became a delegate for the state of Minnesota's 6th Congressional District. And so I was part of that convention 2016 that, well, eventually it ended up nominating Donald Trump, the current president, for the presidency. And then in 2018, I was also a delegate. And then on top of that, I've been a member of the BPOU for our local Senate district. And if you don't know what BPOU stands for, it's Basic Political Operational Unit. So it's
Nice.
the grassroots of the grassroots.
Awesome. So you've been a part of some really cool teams and some good groups. So you know what you're talking about, I think, when it comes to politics and social issues like that. Is that fair to say?
Well, thank you.
Don't be
I appreciate
humble.
that. I don't know if I am as good as you say, but I try to stay up to date
Sure.
on current events
Well,
and stuff.
here's what we're going to do, Mr. Kovach. We're going to play a game. It's called Word Match, okay? Now, I'm going to give you a word, and we actually did a survey, and you're going to try and guess the number one answer for that word. Now, the way you respond is I'll give you a word, then you give me a word that completes it. Now, the tricky part is it doesn't have to be one word. It usually is one word. But this is basically how it works. I'll give you a word right here and we'll practice. Okay. Your first word is library.
Library book.
Ooh, close. We had library card. That was a good guess. But see, now you kind of get out.
So is this just in your mind, or how do I know that?
Well, no, you have to guess. You have to guess the number. I have it all written down right. Trust me.
You have it written down.
It is right. I know you can't see me, but everyone else can see me. I'm holding a card with the answers. So,
all right, I guess
the next one. This is the next practice. Practice one. Alphabet.
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 Song.
No, alphabet soup. Oh man. Of course. Okay, one more practice one, then we'll get into it. All right, we'll get into the actual subject matter. Okay.
Yeah, this is practice.
Practice. Okay.
We can shake out the rust in here.
Sure. Peanut. Oops.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Very good. We also would have accepted peanut brittle, of course, because why not?
Oh.
All right, now this is where the points begin. Okay. President.
Donald J. Trump.
That is correct. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We also would have accepted President Ted Cruz. We would have accepted him.
Absolutely.
We would have
Scott
taken
Walker,
that.
Or
Scott. Yeah.
Rubio.
Yeah, of course. All right, next one. Green.
New Deal.
Green New Deal. Very good. Not bad at all. You are 2 for 3.
I can't wait till that is signed and delivered to the president's desk and put into action. Amen.
We also would have accepted greenhouse gases are killing the planet. We also would have accepted that. All right. Climate.
Climate change.
Climate change, of course. All right. You know these subjects and they're very important for our society, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. Next one. Build.
Bill Clinton.
No. Build.
Oh, build.
Build.
Build the wall.
Build the wall. You got that one correct. You are, wow, I think you're 4 for 5. Pretty good. No, 5 for 6. Very, very good. 5 for 6. We also would have accepted build the steel slats or build the metal fence, whatever. Anyway.
Build the barrier.
Build the barrier and whatever. Next one. Kim.
Kim?
Kim.
Am I on a clock here? Or?
You're not on a clock, but we do have to start the show eventually.
Okay. Can I come back to that one?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Next one. Ruth.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg is correct. We also would have taken Ruth and Boaz in the Bible. Of course, you read your Bible, right? Absolutely. Okay. All right. We have to get back to the Kim one before we go to our last one. Okay. You've only missed one. This is fantastic. Okay. Kim.
Well, let's see.
All right, here, I'll say this. It might not be how do I put this? it might not be the type of person that you would typically think with this name.
I'm going to say Kim Young, who was the first Asian candidate that almost won in California this past election.
That's cool. But I put Kim Jong-un. Yeah, Kim Jong-un. Okay.
Kim Jong-un.
But you know what? Kim Young's good.
The president has a meeting coming up with.
Yeah, he does. He does. You're right. You're on it. We'll accept Kim Young, okay? Because that was kind of in the same ballpark. If you said like Kim Kardashian, we wouldn't have accepted that. Anyway.
Yeah,
last
that wouldn't have come to
one.
my mind anyways.
Last one. So you've gotten every single one except one. All right. If you get this one, you're in.
Okay.
Sean
Duncan.
Nope. Sean Hannity. Oh man,
on.
no, yeah, Sean Hannity, of course.
There's another one where you're about the same as far as stature,
not true at all,
influence and power. So I think I should get that one.
I like being me. You know, I'm not someone else. Anyway, you have officially won the word match game by having a high percentage. Let's give you a round of applause, Mr.
Woo-hoo.
Andrew Kovach. Your prize is pending. It is. We don't have the funds yet, but once they are redistributed from the rich, we will get you your prize.
Perfect.
All right.
You know what? Just put it to the wall. That'll be fine.
Okay, sounds good. Mr. Kovach, we need to start the show. We're going to talk about life and death and the interviews that we did there. But we're going to let you go so that we can start doing that.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for having me on. Love the show. Love you as well.
Oh, thank you, buddy. We'll see you, man. Keep doing good work.
All right, take care.
All right. Well, that is all the time we have for the pre-show right now, and we are going to go into the actual program, Questions for Chicago, where we interviewed people in Atlanta. Of course, as I've said already, about life and death. It's going to be a great one. Stick around. Once this timer goes to 0, don't go anywhere. Watch the monologue and then listen to the rest of the podcast episode. You will not regret it. We want to thank everyone. We want to thank all our viewers, all of our listeners, and of course, do whatever you can to promote the show and of course, promote the truth. We didn't really talk about it here on the pre-show, but what we care about the most is the gospel, letting people know how they can know for sure that they are going to heaven. Anyone can know that. And it's really simple. If you're wondering that for yourself, listen to the episode and you will have that answer. That's a guarantee. It's the truth. And we want to deliver that to you. We want to thank you guys again. I'm Sean Duncan coming at you here from the basement or the studio, whatever you want to call it. Thanks, everyone. We'll see ya.
You're listening to the newest trend in conservative Christian radio.
What is after death, you might think?
A place with a lot of dogs, hopefully.
Nothing.
We're on the dog, nothing for you. And then you, a place with a lot of dogs?
Yeah.
All right.
Of course.
Welcome to Questions for Chicago with your host, Sean Duncan.
Who here loves dogs? I mean, who really loves them? You know, like they're the purpose of your existence. You know, who doesn't love man's best friend? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Chicago, Illinois. Welcome to Questions for Chicago. I'm your host from the suburbs, Sean Duncan. It's our Atlanta, Georgia episode that we're doing right now. That's right. We packed up our bags and went south for the winter. And it's been brutal. I mean, just brutal here in Chicago. The winter has been so bad. It's been snowing like every weekend. And so we hit the streets of Atlanta, as many people call Hot Atlanta, even though it's winter. So it's like 50s and 60s, but definitely better than Chicago. And we wanted to see what people had to say about life and death. Now, if you're familiar with our show, you know our first episode was on life and death. So it's only fitting for our first trip to Atlanta, probably our only trip to Atlanta for the show, would be about life and death, those same questions. So we're going to do that in just a second. Hear those interviews. We didn't go easy on the people of Atlanta. No, sir. We got real serious, real quick. And you're about to hear those awesome conversations. Now, why did we go to Atlanta? Well, we didn't get paid to go there, that's for sure. But we were there anyway, so why not? Let's get out a recorder and get some interviews and share it with people what we know to be true from God's word. Now, you might ask, how is Atlanta different from Chicago? Well, everything. Basically, everything is different in Atlanta. It's almost like being in another state. I mean, it's crazy. You won't believe it. They ride around on birds. Okay, these things are called birds. Now, they're not actual birds, like the flying things. These are bird scooters, okay? And they're possessed. They're weird. Have you ever ridden these magical bird scooters, okay? This is what you do. If you don't know, you open your phone when you find one of these scooters just laying around in the city, okay? You scan the QR code on it. And yeah, you heard me right, okay? They're just laying around anywhere. You just find them wherever in the city. And they don't have docks. They don't have stations. You just leave it wherever you want. I don't know. I was very confused by these contraptions. So you scan it with your phone, whatever the scooter code. By the way, the app takes your credit card and your driver's license number. So they basically own me now because I did all that. Anyway, once you scan the scooter code, you can write it, wherever you want. And that part was actually convenient. Of course, we're trying to do interviews. We're trying to figure out what's the best place to do it. We've never been to Atlanta in that capacity before. So, but you just go wherever and it's electric. I mean, I didn't even know that at first. These are electric scooters and they go super fast. They do. And so when you're done, you just leave it wherever. And then how do these things charge? Okay, they're electric. How do they charge? I have no idea. No clue. No stations, no docks. I don't get it. Okay, I don't know if little elves come out at night and charge them while we're sleeping. I don't know. Now, you may say, well, it's probably charged by the sun. But I personally think that it's fairy dust and magic elves. That's what I think. Anyway, what do we do on this show? Well, when we're not freaking out about scooters, we go to downtown Chicago, or this time Atlanta, and we approach strangers with random questions. And we go, and for you get to hear those interviews from beginning to end. We don't shy away from the big subjects, and you get a front row seat to the action. And the most important thing that we do is share with all those people and you how anyone can know for sure that of where they're going when they die. Now, we're about to get into our life and death conversations with these interesting folks in Atlanta. But first, email us at qsforshy@gmail.com. We want to hear from you and what you have to say about life, death, God, religion, socialism, scooters. We want to hear what you have to say. If you love what we say or you hate what we say, start a conversation with us at qsforshy@gmail.com. Now, without any further ado, we will play our first interview with a couple. By the way, we actually recorded these on Valentine's Day. And now that was just a scheduling thing. But we interviewed a couple nicknamed the Dog Lovers. You already kind of heard from them in the intro, but you're about to see why they really are the Dog Lovers. Let's see now what the Dog Lovers had to say about life and death.